extra Marines. South Korea's government recently announced it once again safe for villagers. But only a few hundred of the close to 2,000 have willingly come back. The government plans to spend $26 million over the next few years to rebuild damaged homes and to better fortify the island against further attacks. Still, for many residents here, they can never return. People say the trauma is too much.
Going back to our old ways, to how it used to be, isn't going to be easy.
Much of the island's fishing fleet sits idle. The peak harvest season is almost over, but the worries are for the long term. With tensions remaining high, no one is sure these waters, some of the richest for seafood in the world, will be safe.
Yes, I'm scared of another attack, but this is the only home I know. What am I to do?
For many here, this rocky outcrop has been home for generations. And despite being so close to what is a disputed border, villagers were mostly kept from the conflict. A once peaceful existence, now shattered. Steve Chow, Al Jazeera, Yongpyong Island, South Korea.
When you're away from your television, this is where to head for, as we say, all the news all the time. aljazeera.net/English in-depth coverage of the twin bombings in Sweden. A news bulletin on the right there to catch up with the headlines whenever you want. But at 1:30, this is when we catch up with the headlines on Al Jazeera. Swedish police say they're investigating twin blasts in Stockholm as a terror crime. The explosions killed one person, injured two others, the dead man believed to be the bomber. A news agency received an email warning with threats to the country. One also went to police.
I haven't read the mail myself exactly, but what I know is the mail was about that one man, he was not satisfied with the development in Sweden regarding that we have military troops in other countries that have been protests and that have been said bad things about the prophet and so on. But we are still analyzing this mail, so it's too early to say anything more. This is very serious, and we are taking all precautions, and we're doing everything we can to investigate this.
Other headlines now: at least 19 people killed in a series of bombings across Iraq. The worst was in Ramadi. At least 17 people have died there. It is believed the attackers were targeting a government building. Elsewhere in the north, a man blew himself up, killing two others. Some developing news out of Afghanistan. NATO saying 6 of its troops have been killed in an insurgent attack. It's calling it in the country's south. That statement from NATO says it happened on Sunday, but at this stage, not giving any detail on how those troops died, their nationalities, or the exact location, just that it is in the south of Afghanistan and that 6 NATO troops have been killed. Voting's begun in Kosovo's parliamentary elections, the first since the country's unilateral declaration of independence from Serbia in 2008. The snap election follows last month's vote of no confidence in that government. Eldest son of the disgraced financier Bernie Madoff has taken his own life. This is Mark Madoff, who was found hanged in his New York apartment. His death happened on the 2nd anniversary of his father's arrest for multi-billion-dollar fraud, and a number of lawsuits now coming out against Bernie Madoff. US envoy to Afghanistan and Pakistan Richard Holbrooke's in a critical condition in hospital after emergency heart surgery. The 69-year-old had been about to help the White House publish its latest assessment of the war in Afghanistan. Once again, those are your headlines here on Al Jazeera. We'll continue the news right after Inside Story.
As WikiLeaks